Well, now, Mr. Perkins, it was very good of you to come in. I know you're a busy man, but this was not something I could talk to you on the electric telephone.
No, no, absolutely, Headmaster. If Tommy is in some sort of trouble, I want to nip it in the bud.
Quite frankly, Tommy is in trouble. He's his behavior has left a great deal to be desired.
Oh, dear me.
He refuses to engage in school life and refuses also to muck about on the sports field. And it's been weeks since any master has seen any written word from him at all.
Oh, dear.
Quite frankly, Mr. Perkins, if your son wasn't dead, I'd have him expelled.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Expelled. If I wasn't making allowances for the fact that your son is dead, he'd be out on his ear.
Tommy's dead?
He's lying up there in sick bay now, stiff as a board and bright green. And I fear this is typical of his current attitude. In one moment, the boy has no sense of moderation at all. One moment he's flying around like a paper kite, and the next he's completely immovable and beginning to smell.
Well, how did he die?
Well, oh well, it's all got to do with the library. Boys were going to the library and taking out books without library cards. Your son was caught, and I administered a beating during which he died. But you'll be happy to know that the ringleader was caught, and we won't be having any trouble with library discipline anymore. You see, the library card system...
I'm sorry. You beat my son to death?
Yes. So it would seem. Mr. Perkins, I'm not used to being interrupted. You see, the library card system...
Well, exactly what happened?
Boys were just slipping into the library and taking the books.
No, during the beating.
Oh. One moment he was bending over, and the next he was lying down.
Dead?
Deadish. Mr. Perkins, I find this morbid obsession with your son's death very disturbing. What I'm talking about was his attitude. But quite frankly, I can see where he gets it.
Well, it wasn't me that beat my son to death.
Well, I knew that from the moment he arrived here, the first day. And I thought then, as I think now, what a different boy entirely he would have turned out to be had you administered a few fatal beatings earlier on.
Are you mad?
I'm furious. I've had to cancel afternoon school on Wednesday to accommodate his funeral.
This is preposterous.
Yes, it would be, if it were true.
What?
I've been joking. It's my strange academic sense of humor. I've been pulling your leg.
Oh, thank God.
I wouldn't cancel afternoon school to bury that little shit.
Well, now, Mr. Perkins, it was good of you to come in. I realize you're a very busy man, but I did not think this matter could be discussed over the electric telephone.
Well, if Tommy's in any kind of trouble, I'd like to nip it in the butt.
Well, quite frankly, Tommy is in trouble. His behavior has left a great deal to be desired.
Shit.
He takes no interest in school life whatsoever. He refuses to muck in at the sports field, and it's been weeks since any master has gotten any written work from him at all.
Oh, dear me.
Quite frankly, if he wasn't dead, I'd have him expelled.
I'm sorry?
Yes, expelled. If I wasn't making allowances for the fact that Tommy's dead, he'd be out on his ear.
My son is dead?
Yes, he's up here in sick bay now. stiff as a board and bright green. And I fear this is typical of his current attitude. The boy has no sense of moderation. One moment he's flying around like a paper kite, and the next he's completely immovable and beginning to smell.
Well, what exactly happened?
Well, it's got to do with the library, you see. The boys were just taking out the books without library cards. Your son was caught and administered a beating during which he died. But you're happy to know that the ringleader was caught, and I'm confident we will not have any more problems with library discipline. You see, the library card system was introduced...
I'm sorry. You beat my son to death?
Yes, so it would seem. Mr. Perkins, I'm not used to being interrupted. The library card system was introduced...
Well, what exactly happened?
Oh, the boys were just slipping into the
No,
library
I
and taking the
think during
books.
the beating.
Oh, that. Well, one moment he was bending over, and the next he was lying down.
Dead?
Deadish. Mr. Perkins, I find it quite disturbing, this morbid fascination you have about your son's death. What I am talking about is his attitude.
Are you mad?
And I can see where he gets it from.
Are you mad?
I am furious. I had to cancel afternoon class on Wednesday to accommodate his funeral.
This is preposterous.
Yes, it is. Or at least it would be if it were true.
What?
Pardon me, Mr. Perkins. Please excuse my strange academic sense of humor. I have been joking. I have been pulling your leg.
Oh, thank God.
I wouldn't cancel afternoon class to bury that little shit.